When I went to Brown, the tuition was $7,000 a year.
Jeez.
And when I left Brown, I made $15,000 a year. Today, the cost of tuition is $70,000 or $80,000. So 10 times what it was when I went to college. People are not leaving school making $150,000 to $200,000. So the math doesn't completely add up. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't benefit, throughout your lifetime. But what it does mean is that you have to be very careful about how you go about it. And what I have seen is people going to state schools because they're less expensive, finishing more quickly as opposed to taking the 4 or sometimes 5 years, trying to do it in 3. So that they can save money. HBCUs are a really good value for your money. You can always go to a different grad school. You can go to Ivy League grad school. You don't have to go to Ivy League undergrad. Or you could not go to Ivy League at all. So I think it's really recognizing that it is an investment that needs to have a return, and that the return on investment needs to make sense. And student loan debt, as I'm sure you know, is like the highest it's ever been. And you can't get rid of it. You just have to be careful and not just run, to something that, again, it goes back to, keeping up with the Joneses, because you got into this great school, that doesn't mean you should necessarily go. The right education depends on you. I'm a big supporter of HBCUs. I do see Ivy League schools as providing a great education, but there are also some really great state schools. I think really what's more important is to find the right fit. And I mean, education-wise and culturally. I had a challenge going from Indiantown to Brown, not with the academics, but with the cultural shift, to Ivy League. They now do a better job of helping, what they call first gens, or people. I was the first person in my, immediate family to go to college. And so they do a better job there. But I think, part of it is finding the right fit. Unlike when we went to school, you really do need to do the math, and I say that because when we went to school, the cost of education was much less. I'm going to use numbers,